So Joseph is asking, were there black ooh, sorry, I'm getting stuck on the words. Were there black people inhabited Egypt when Joseph and Mary migrate? If yes, why did Yeshua return with blonde hair and blue eyes? Excuse me, were there black people
Joseph, that is
inhabiting Egypt?
Joseph, that is a very interesting question that you're asking. And I think, when you look at an artist's rendition of what they think Jesus might look like, it's going to look very different to different people based on your own culture. Something that I remember learning, I went to another country. I went overseas as a missionary and looked at Christian literature in Asia. And when you look at like a Chinese Bible, you'll see that Jesus looks Chinese in a lot of, Chinese literature talking about Jesus. And I've seen, pictures of Jesus, that where Jesus looks African American. There's pictures of Jesus where Jesus looks like he has blonde hair and blue eyes. We don't know exactly what Jesus looked like. But the Bible does tell us something that should show us, give us an idea of kind of his physical attributes. So I'll share with you two verses, just to give you an idea. I don't think Jesus probably had blonde hair and blue eyes. That's probably not true. I know some, like you're saying, some artist rendition might have had blonde hair and blue eyes, but that's probably not quite accurate. And I'll show you why. If you look in the book of John, chapter 4, this is the story of the woman at the well. So this is where Jesus goes into Samaria, which is a country where you're heading out of Israel, and basically it's this group of people who were like the Jews at that time kind of looked down on. They felt like they were kind of like these half-breed people. They weren't really Jews, but they weren't really Gentiles. They're a mix of both Jew and Gentile. And they had a different style of worship of God. They did believe in the Torah, which is the 5 first books of the Bible. They did believe in the God of Abraham, but they didn't have any books after that. And they were just kind of a unique group. And again, the Jews at that time who were feeling very elite, like the Pharisees, who tended to look down on anybody they didn't feel it was holy as they were, looked down on these people. And what's interesting is, when you look at this story, something very interesting happens in John chapter 4 and verse 9. And this is where the Samaritan woman looks at Jesus. She just says, she looks at him and she says, Jesus basically comes to her at this well at noon. And, it's the middle of the day. Why is she at the well at noon? Well, probably because nobody's there, because she had kind of a past. And Jesus asks her for water. And her response is interesting. Again, John chapter 4 and verse 9. Let's give you background. So it says, Then the woman of Samaria said unto him, How is it that you, being a Jew, ask me to drink? Jesus asked her for some water, which am a woman of Samaria, for the Jews have no dealings with the Samaritans. So this woman didn't know anything about Jesus. She just looked at him and said, You're a Jew. So if that's the case, then you have to think, what does a typical person of Jewish descent look like? Well, probably not blue hair, blue eyes and blonde hair, probably brown hair, brown eyes. Skin tone can be, fair to, olive. It's not really 100% sure. So with Jesus, coming back, you're saying coming back from Egypt, he was only there for 2 years. That's not where his nationality was from. But he was definitely Jewish, and he definitely looked like somebody who was of Jewish descent. So again, probably not the blonde hair, blue eyes. It's just an artist depiction of what Jesus might have looked like. And also, what the Bible does talk about Jesus as far as his appearance, I think God was wise in that he put Jesus on the earth when he didn't give us the capability to take a picture, because I think God didn't want us to be so focused on the appearance of Jesus, but rather on his message and on his life and on his purpose, which is to give us salvation. And, just as far as Jesus's looks, the Bible does say something interesting about that, which is you see in the book of Isaiah, in chapter 53 and verse 2, it says that he has no form or comeliness that we should desire him. So Jesus wasn't something, somebody beautiful to look at. Not saying that Jesus was hideous, but I have no idea, but he wasn't like an object of beauty. He wasn't somebody you went, ooh, look how beautiful he is. So, you know, that's something to be said of Jesus's appearance. We don't know what he looked like, but we know he wasn't anything, special or what have you. So, but really, when we're talking about Jesus and what he looked like, could he have had darker skin? Maybe, could he have had fair skin? We don't know. That's not the point. The point is that Jesus is what's on the inside, which was his blood that cleanses us from all sin. And the thing is, we're all from one blood, like it says in the book of Acts, chapter 17, verses 26 and 27. And I just want to close with this thought, Acts 17. 26 and 27. And the Bible reads here that, and God has made us all of one blood of all nations of men to dwell on all the face of the earth, and has determined the times before appointed and the bounds of their habitation. So basically, it's saying that God made everybody of one blood. We're all part of the human race. It doesn't matter what skin color you are, what your hair color is, your eye color. That doesn't matter. What matters is that we're all created from the same God, and we're all part of the human family. And verse 27 says, and that they should seek the Lord, if haply they might feel after him and find him, though he be not far from every one of us. So God wants to make himself available to every person on the earth. God doesn't care what you look like. God cares about your heart. And so I hope that answers your question, Joseph. And I hope and pray that you would focus on the life and the love of Jesus rather than worrying about any sort of physical appearance, because that really doesn't matter. What matters, again, is the nature of your heart. Jay or Wendy, any other thoughts on that one?
No, I think you answered it very well.